All right, we are watching my very first Glory fight. Oh wow, this was a long time ago. When was this? 2013, 12 years ago. And look at my opponent, record of 36-6. Pretty darn solid. I knew of him going into this, and that's always harder when you know your opponent, but I wanted to take the opportunity just to go back and watch this fight to talk about the progression that I see in myself. I believe at this point I would have been 28 years old, and many people go, 28 years old, you're in your peak. It's the best you are ever. Not for me. Absolutely not. I felt like a little baby back then compared to now. But let's take a look. Let's see how I do here. I've got much stronger. Trying to reach down for that low kick. A little pull, a little off balance. The thing we knew about Esbiri going into this is he was a wild man. Like, he's got that dog in him. Just fight and fight and fight. But we also knew that because you're so wild, you could fatigue. And knowing that somebody can fatigue, every time you do something like that, every time you give them a sweep, you make them get up. Extra energy. That was a nice front kick there. Attacking the back leg, very nicely done. And did I change anything up for this first fight in Glory in terms of training camp? Being like, oh man, I'm fighting the best in the world. I have to go and fight other people or train with other people who are so good. No. Did what I always did. Trained local. What is the mindset when you're fighting somebody who's just like a wild dog and just keeps such a high pace early in the fight? Do you back up and let them go forward? Do you let them hunt, knowing that they're dangerous and it's not a smart time to engage with them? No, that's not my mindset. My mindset is feel out the power in the first couple techniques, but put a pace on them that is unsustainable. Like, I know I'm going to be able to maintain a pace better than him because my cardio is so good. Nice teep there. He got me back though. A little takedown there, a little sloppy, but anyway, my thought process is push them. Yes, the danger is there, but that is exactly why you have to have stellar defense. Prioritize that defense. You can tell now, around this point, we're only 2 minutes into the fight, and he is already starting to get a little bit more fatigued. That was a nice spinning kick though. But again, I'm just keeping the defense on point. You can see how my elbows are very high. What does that mean? I'm protecting the head. My body is much more open, but the head is the important part when you have good conditioning to the torso. Again, just pushing him. And maybe in hindsight, knowing that I was potentially going to have to fight 3 times in one night to win this tournament, that was a nice spinning side kick there. But again, body conditioning. Knowing that I was going to have to push 3 times in one night, probably should have eased back a little bit. But this was the first fight of the night. Second fight, I fought the 2 or 3 time K1 champion and lost by split decision. And mostly lost because I was hesitant. I didn't know how good he was. That was a nice overhand there. Timed it really well. Followed up. Switching the angles there. Keeping him guessing. Body to the leg, to the head, back to the body, up to the head. Keep them guessing. Oh yes, to the back leg again, but I ate a punch. See, in the beginning, they're always going to be dangerous. These guys who gas out, they're always going to push in the first 30 seconds of the fight. Like, one judge gave it to him that last round. What the heck? I mean, it was a closer round, much closer than this one, I'm thinking, because I remember starting to dominate with the clinch. I loved when kickboxing had clinch, and you could toss somebody to the ground. Such a better rule set. And let's take a look and let's analyze from a quick second, not too long, but let's look at my footwork. Because the footwork is going to be something that coming up, my movement course. We're focusing on footwork, balance, and range. People have always said to me when they spar me and they try to toss me, they're like, your balance is so good, what the heck? like throwing a flying knee like that, and then being completely balanced when you come out. Yeah, it takes practice. You have to have drills for that. The range, understanding what's the danger, that's a tricky thing as well. And the footwork is very tricky. I'm going to throw a link down below if you want to join the 5-week training course that we have coming up. We'll have 3 live calls during that duration, 25 plus videos. Look at that. See that little step back to create distance for the spinning side kick, understanding the range. Little step back there. Look at this awesome clinch position. Locked him up. If that was Muay Thai, I just could have gone to town there. Just pummeled him from that position. See, he's still trying to just work and work and work, but he's not too strategic in the way he does it. It's just very wild. And there's a hopefulness that is a little naive in that. That was a nice low kick there. You can see now he's just starting to break down, starting to get a little bit extra sloppy, a little wobbly even. Nice knee to the head. And again, pushing forward. Those were some nice ones. I've landed a lot of knees to the head. Oh, now I'm battering him up. This is where when I look compared to now and I'm like, oh, I wish I had the punching power that I have now back then. Because there I was like, pap, pap, pap. But it just didn't have that same solid thunk or thump that it does now, where people will drop. Yeah, catch the low kick. I know some people say never catch a low kick. I disagree. There's just a time and a place to catch it. You have to wait for very specific things. You can't rush it. Don't go too early. Flying knee was a little jam, but led to a lovely sweep. And I love how the ref just slipped his head backwards there. He almost got spinning hook kicked from my opponent. Oh, I remember that one in the fight. That knee, it clipped his jaw, and I saw his eyes wobble. And that was like right on the bell, so I couldn't follow up. Let's see if they give us any good replays here to look at. There's that first knee, keeping it long, little movement there. See, this right here is like where the footwork, that trucking forward and staying balanced is quite important. He's trying to slip out. Boom. Just staying with him, tracking him for those knees. Yeah. Just don't, like now the power that I have compared to there is substantially more. And you think at 28 you'd be pretty in your man strength, but for some reason for me it came later. That nice high guard, just let him throw away early in the fight. Just see I'm pressuring forward, just walking right into the distance. That was a lovely kick there. Then the inside low, making him miss, tags him, little wobble, body. At least that last round was unanimous my way. Judge number 4 wasn't dropping the ball again. I mean, I'm still happy watching myself back then. I'm like, okay, yeah. I had the skills. Obviously. But you would have put me in glory like 3 or 4 years later, and it would have been a different story. But I got so much more done. And that's the argument that I have for people sometimes where they're like, oh, you got to fight as often as possible. Always be fighting. You got to get those wins racked up, and there's no time like the present. You got to do it when you're young. And I'm like, yeah, but if you take care of yourself, you can prolong your career until your late 30s, early 40s, like I'm doing, and be healthy, be fit, and not be a punching bag from just doing too many fights too early. And it's the end of the career that pays. That was a good little fade back from me there. Right? You make the most money at the end of your career, most likely. Definitely not in the first 3 or 4 years where they're paying you like $100, $200, maybe $500, $1,000 a fight. And that's a nice little hook from him there. Managed to roll with it. Good body shot. I think I was getting a little, even I feel like I'm looking a little sloppy here now in the end of round 3. And I'm not a fan of sloppy, as you guys know. I like keeping things looking really sharp. Sloppy shots take more energy. That was a better combo there. I think it looks like I'm pushing a little heavy on the knees to the head. It's like forcing it. You don't want to force techniques. You have success with them a couple times and you're like, okay, I'm going to land more of them. I'm going to land more. No, you wait for them to come. You don't force it. I've seen many people make that mistake time and time again. And the smart move at this point would have been just stop pushing and stop pushing. I've already won the fight. Focus on, the next fight. But there's an extra element when you get to Glory and they're like, okay, if you do a good fight and you put on a good crowd-pleasing fight, we'll re-sign you. You're like, okay, I got to push. I'm not necessarily thinking about anything aside from getting re-signed down the road. Nice teep there. Good flying knee. And that is that. Man, fun to go back and watch that fight again. Happy with the skills I had back at 28, but I was better at 38 than I am at 28, that's for sure. Fun time, though. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on Monday next week in the Strike Ready movement course, which is just going to be a blast. Everybody's going to learn so much and always have lots of fun in the Strike Ready live calls for those courses. So obviously got the win here, and that is that.